And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant, Dominus, and I'm here with Liz.
Hello.
And if it's your first time listening or watching, you're always welcome to follow or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow and unsubscribe. Liz, how has your week been? How was Halloween for you?
Yeah, very chaotic. I thought it was organized, and then it went reverse.
Okay. Wait, what? Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's an interesting way to say.
What it sounded like was either my mom was supposed to pick up my child friend, and we're there, and we were supposed to take him back at some, or no, it was supposed to be the mother was supposed to bring them here. Then they didn't. We wind up having to go pick them up. And then I assumed, because I hadn't heard anything otherwise, that the mom was going to pick up their child. I assumed I was dropping that child off.
Okay. That can be very confusing. Yes.
Yes, very confusing. I was like, okay, well, that does not help. So, yeah, very chaotic day. It didn't. My chaotic week. First week back after not working for 8 weeks was hell in a handbasket.
Oh yeah. It was your first week back to being a quote productive member of society. How was that?
Again. I said everything that went wrong. Shit hit the ceiling multiple times. Oh yeah, it was like I was trying to tell you the other day. We had a patient who was prescribed 12 medications. We didn't give him like 3 of them because we had 2 order them. The other one was over the counter. We weren't going to do that. So we got those, all but those 3 medications. And told we had a rush in the morning. This patient was going to be discharged, basically handed over into police custody because apparently had a warrant or something. I don't know. And he was lying to the nurses of names and et cetera, et cetera. So it just kind of escalated. So it was like hair raising. We were slammed so many times.
Oh, you had a interesting first week back. You had an interesting first week. Aren't you happy you're back?
I don't know if they are happy that I'm back. They definitely missed me. I got some hugs and they were like ecstatic they saw me and they were happy to see me and all that. It was I swear it's like as soon I'm not even in there my first day back and they're like, hey, we already got to talk about the schedule. What?
Already? It's only day 1.
Yeah, I'm like, come on guys, stop, please. For the love of God.
Come on, Liz. Now that you're back, you can take all this extra time you need for you to use you. That was
I know, right? I'm like so annoyed. Then they'll be treated like shitty in the ED. Like, yeah, I'm ready to punch the whole fucking week in the face.
Damn, it's only been week 1.
I know, and I still have 3 more weeks.
God damn. And then you have you have 1 more hospital visit, then some time off, then you can enjoy the rest of your life.
Only 2 weeks.
2-week break.
Yes, but I get to live my rest of my life with some peace in mind, and not so much of a horror worry in my mind for the rest of my life. Hopefully.
Yeah, you don't have to worry now about your physical health. You just got to worry about your mental health working in that environment.
I know.
That's what
That's what I told my psychiatrist. I'm like, that's what I told my psychiatrist. I think I need to work on the other shit.
Psychiatrist or therapist?
Oh no.
Well, I always forget there's a difference.
I guess. I don't know. He is a psychiatrist. Well.
Tomatoes, potatoes, whatever.
Yeah, it's the same idea. It's still a mental health doctor.
You're paying for someone to listen to your troubles, right? At that point.
Exactly.
But
My
yeah.
trauma.
Well, you're gonna need it if you're gonna go back into that work environment. But yeah, it sounds like you're. It seems like overall it was not a very smooth week. Did you think it was gonna be a smoothish? Not like nothing's ever smooth.
I was hoping for somewhat of a smooth week, but not an over exaggerated week. To tell you the truth, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
It's like a welcome party. You were thinking like you're gonna have a decent welcome party. You're gonna get back into the groove of work, and someone just like shoved you onto the floor and like get back to work kind of mentality.
Exactly, it felt like that.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
How was your Halloween? I'm sorry that I didn't ask
No, it's
you.
fine. I mentioned. I think I mentioned this on the last episode. I've been on vacation. I personally have been on vacation while you were out of your quote medical vacation. I started an actual vacation, so I spent a lot of time kind of just maybe possibly what you were doing, just kind of catching up on stuff, watching a few shows. Not totally what I thought I was gonna. I knew I was gonna like catch up on a lot of shows. So for anyone who listens to this and listens to my reaction cast, I didn't catch up as many shows I wanted to, but I caught up on a few shows and rewatched a couple things that I wanted to rewatch from the last couple. And then just kind of you and I attended my sister's big screen birthday bash. So we had
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. I would love to do that again. That's for sure.
But not in that cold.
No, but it wasn't terrible next to the fire. We weren't as cold as your counterparts on the other side of the.
But yeah, so for anyone wondering, so my sister is born on All Hallows Eve. So like we were hosting on the weekend because that's when most people don't work. We were hosting a screening of The Nun 2 in our backyard. Like you had one of those like huge inflatable projector screens. We had a projector. The only thing we had issue with audio, we were kind of doing it last minute in a sense. My sister messaged her friends. I messaged Liz and a few other my friends who could try to make it. And kind of got all this together to just do like a Halloweenish just birthday kind of bash. And we got it all together in like less than 5 hours. Which is not too bad.
And it turned out beautiful. It was wonderful. I loved it, guys. It was enjoyable. They will have to work on their speakers for the future reference, but all of it was pretty cool. I loved it. I enjoyed it. The fire, the ambiance. The moon was very, very bright that night too.
It was like a full moon, which was nice, but did not help the screening because the moon's light hit the screen, so it made it a little brighter than it needed to be. It's one of those times where it's like, oof, full moon. Oh no, it's hurting our screen. Damn, whatever. But yeah, it was nice the way we set it up. We didn't do like theater style. We had like a half moon seating because we split our area in twos. We had a fire pit on one side and a heat lamp on the other. So you were either team fire pit or team heat lamp. And then from there, we actually had a huge crowd surprisingly for a last minute get together. Which was nice getting to see everyone and then we watched the movie. It was a fine movie. I don't think I'll review it because it wasn't like not that it wasn't worth a review. It's just like the way we watched it was awkwardly watched. It was fun to watch it as a group in that method. I could not give you a proper review the way we saw it, but it was fun overall. Getting together.
It was enjoyable. It was a nice little hurrah to the end of mine and a nice start for your sister's birthday. I mean, I thought it was pretty decent considering you guys threw this together last minute and I got the text at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Hey!
Yeah, that's literally
sure.
Yep, that's when I think it was around like I think half an hour after that, like around noon or 1, my sister was like, maybe we should do something. And like, yeah. And then I threw out, why don't we just do a movie night here really quick? And then from there it's like, all right, let's get everything together. So we just spent a lot of time just doing some minor cleanups since my father already cleaned up most of the backyard. We just did a little bit. We still have a little bit to clean up today. But it's just like chairs that just need to be moved back. Nothing too crazy. but yeah, it was fun. I think that's the most. There's surprisingly no real trick or treaters in this area, but we aren't like the type of people to give out candy. More so, it's like our neighborhood isn't either. I think our neighbors had like a lot of were in that what is it in that
Kids?
in that spirit, in the spirit of Halloween, because they decorated their house and everything with Halloween decoration. Everyone else around them and us, including ourselves, we didn't really decorate or anything. More so, we just like we didn't. It just takes a lot of time, kind of, and we're like then time to put up, time to take down, and it's not like we weren't gonna give candy. It's just like no one was here because we were also celebrating Dia de los Muertos for my grandmother who passed away earlier this year, or just a month ago. So we were doing that. And from what I was informed, apparently, is that during the year that they pass, if it's near the Day of the Dead, you're supposed to like have a 1 week celebration. And I'm like, what? Okay, well, sure, whatever. So there was good food almost every day during my time off. But yeah, that's kind of really it. It was just like a casual week. Like I said, really didn't have trick or treaters. I didn't even get to see my nephew in person in his Halloween costume, but apparently he was like a little Jedi, which was funny.
That's so cute.
So I saw photos, but yeah, I didn't really see. I didn't see him in person, but it seems like he had fun, which is matter. That's all that really matters, because at this point in our time, you kind of have to just live vicariously through children at this point, because
I was with my kid trick or treating.
there you go. So you got to live vicariously through your child and see them through all the because we can remember how it was for trick or treating for us, but it's different now that we're a little older. Because we have quote adult Halloween parties, but it's nothing. There's nothing to kind of supplement what we used to have as a kid. Like when you're like, oh my god, just getting candy from strangers, because to us candy was like currency back in the day. Like, oh my god, dude, I have like 2 Snickers. I'll trade you 5 Snickers for 4 of those Kit Kats. All that. But yeah,
we didn't care in our household. I mean, granted, growing up in California, we used to donate some of our candy to kids in Tijuana. So the day after Halloween, we come back to school and we would just hand off the candy that we didn't want, gave it to the kids in Mexico.
blasphemy.
Oh, it was blasphemy. How? They're getting candy too.
No, all the candy for me. That would have been me back in the day.
We didn't know each other back then.
I would why are you giving that candy? You give it to me. I'll hide it. But yeah, that was my week. For the most part, calming. Nothing too exciting. I did stream. Anyone who caught my stream, I was streaming for a little about 3 hours midweek because I got bored. And I was like editing, but then I got tired of editing, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna play a random game, and I ended up streaming for 3 hours. I'm actually thinking of doing it more often. I keep saying that, but I'm actually thinking of doing it because I got everything set up, got everything working, and I'm like, you know what? This was fun. I had fun doing it, and I think I might do it once a week. Moving forward, once I need to, the thing I know about how streaming works as not as a career, but I don't want to do it as a career. I just like want to do it as something for fun, but for people to know what's happening, is actually give myself an actual like quote schedule. Like, yeah, I'm gonna stream on Friday from like 11 to 1, something like that. Like, this is when I'm gonna do it. Just do it, and then continue. You gotta anything good or bad, you have to build a habit to it, right? So that's kind of what I'm like doing after, because I really had fun doing that. It was just fun, just messing around, playing this one little random game back from the 2000s, and yeah, that was kind of my week. I think those were the only things. Anything else you want to add before we start up with the stories?
No, it was definitely an interesting week for sure, but I'm ready to dive into some craziness of the world. Kind of distract me.
All right, let's kind of jump into some of the stories then, because like, staying in the spirit of Halloween, it can get very dreadful. So we're gonna jump into this first story where a 16-year-old dies after attending a Halloween party that homeowners say get out of hand. That's pretty disappointing, actually. That is pretty disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, a 16-year-old boy died after he was attacked at a Halloween party in Arizona, according to police. The alleged assault happened at a home in Queen Creek on Saturday night. Preston Lord, 16, died on Monday at Phoenix Children's Hospital 2 days after the party. He was a junior at Columbus High School and played on the varsity basketball team. Combs. Interesting names. Queens Creek police said that they were called to the home for a disturbance call just after 9 p.m. Saturday. However, no crime was found. Okay, so they were called ahead once. Officers left to respond to another call before being called back to the Halloween party for a new report of an assault. So they already investigated once. Nothing really happened. Came back for another one. Interesting. When first responders arrived, they found Lord injured and lying on the road. Life-saving measures were attempted, and Lord was rushed to the hospital. Lord's aunt told KTVK that the teen was attacked and his heart stopped. She also said that he had suffered a serious brain injury. Holy shit! What happened here?
Jesus.
Police said that between 100 and 200 people attended the party, and adults were inside the home. What? Okay. When I think
Where were the adults? That's the question.
They were inside the home. It says right there.
It's out of their mind.
Wait, when I think this was a home, right? Home.
Yes, they said it was a home.
That's
That's a lot of people for a home. I'm not gonna lie. You need to have a mansion basically for that size party.
Yeah, because before we continue, that is a big, because when I think the Halloween party in a home. My home, you've been to my house. My house itself is not that big, but it's big. But I have a very, very decently sized yard. And for when we hosted the Halloween night showing, we had 30-ish people, give or take. We were hitting 30 people, and there were still a lot of people. That's still a lot of people. Mm-hmm. But I've hosted and have hosted in my home up to I would say we never hit 3 digits. I would say 50 to 60 people in my household. Yeah, and that's still a lot. Because so hearing 100 to 200, were these like where is where the heck was this? Queens Creek? Is this a really like nice posh kind of housing? Because it could be
no idea. I can need to ask my relatives in Arizona, be like, hey, what's going on with this neighborhood?
Okay, I'm kind of just looking really quick to see the city a little bit. Queen Creek. Not really seeing much. It's desert like you would normally see. A lot of open land. I gotta see like housing or something, you know. But that's a lot. That's definitely a little too many. It's like getting to. Did you ever watch Project X back in the day? It was an old movie. It was an old movie that gets referenced a lot when things get a little too wild. It's just a movie where a couple guys decide, you know, let's throw a small party, invite a few people, and it just gets way out of hand and gets way out of control. And
no, I'm not. Actually, I don't even remember that. To tell you that, never heard that about that one. This is the first time I've ever listened.
Wow, I think you've been to.
I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it.
You have. When did that movie come out? That came out back in 2012.
I was kind of strapped to a toddler and work.
That makes sense. Your mindset was on other things. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for the most time, when in that time we didn't want to recreate that scene, but we wanted to create that mentality, and we did a couple times. We threw get-togethers and kickbacks like that. But anyway, let's continue because okay. So there's way too many people here. The homeowner where the party took place, who did not want to get named, told KTKV, whatever, that his daughter's party got out of hand. So it was his daughter's party, okay, and he kicked everyone out within 2 hours. It was just supposed to be her friends. It just turned out to be a lot of people that were not invited who showed up to the party. Yep, like Project X, kind of just people start showing up. He said that his daughter did not go to the school with Lord and did not know him. My daughter did not know more than half the people who ended up showing up to our house. It was not supposed to be an open party. One of the neighbors said that, yeah, just like you're welcome. Like, you have a costume, party time. One of the neighbors said that students from multiple high schools showed up to the party, opened containers, alcohol, drinking, and I had a teenager puking in my front yard. We were taking care of them. Now police are looking for the person responsible for attacking Lord, and no arrests have been made. That's kind of disappointing. So yeah, it's kind of what it's like what I was saying earlier. It's like Project X style. It's like just people got together, things just got out of hand, and just kind of it's just a few bad actors kind of just change it up, and it seems like a couple bad actors got way out of control here. Is there anything else in here? Investigation, attorney. Whoever attacked can face murder charges. Okay, yeah, that's definitely. I agree there. Tyler said if others were participating in the attack or cheering it on, they could charge with conspiracy or to commit murder. Ooh, one of those things like everyone's just cheering a fight on. Although the attack reportedly happened outside the home, Tyler said a homeowner could end up with criminal charges. What? That's interesting. The homeowner can be found criminally liable for child abuse, neglect, and for the kids are the homeowner can be found criminally liable for child abuse, negligence, and for the and for the fact that kids are in his house and someone got assaulted. The homeowner could be an accomplice to this also. Well, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that is very fucked up.
Like, I get it, but there should be some like statue that says, yeah, these were just some intruders at this point, you know. It's like if someone broke into your home and someone fought and it was like kids or teenagers and one of them died, like, oh yeah, it was them, they got into my house, but then you like, oh yeah, you're still gonna be liable, like, but they broke into my house, no, you're still liable. Like, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, I know, right? That's so sad. That's so true though. I mean, sucks. That's the law though.
That's a lot happening. I feel really bad. Like, no matter what, it shouldn't have gone. It shouldn't escalate it to that bad. And that's what a way to for their Halloween weekend to occur. It's disappointing too. He was only a junior, and just this is the start of his junior year, basically.
Yeah.
He still had 2 years of high school and no longer with us. That's disappointing.
That's so sad. I feel sorry for the family who has to bury a child.
That is a hard one.
Oh.
We talked about stories like that. It is a hard one. But that's kind of the world we live in, sadly. There's things like that happening a lot. It's one of those things where I could see where the daughter says, you know, I want to throw a Halloween party for my kids. Something like probably you would do, right? You're like, oh, I want to get her friends together, have a fun time, have a couple, right? And that couple turns into a dozen, that dozen turns into 100, and then it gets way out of control.
Way out of hand.
So that's disappointing. This is where I genuinely don't know what occurred. It's just like, I think it's just like someone said something to another person, and that person said to another person, and then it just got. And this was within 2 hours too.
Yeah.
2 hours. A lot of things can happen in 2 hours. So we don't know anything that might have occurred that outside this time frame too, because it was like 9, so it's late at night too.
Yeah, and
So,
probably camera's not around either to catch what happened.
oh, very very little. Like my home has a decent amount of cameras for like the front and the backyard. But not like everywhere where you can catch every little nook and cranny. Like there's no point for that. It's just more just to catch packages and keep an eye on the dogs. So for anyone wondering, like, yeah, no, I live in a pretty decent, like, safe neighborhood. But you know, it doesn't hurt to keep an eye on people. Still, people no matter where steal packages, so it doesn't hurt to.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it doesn't hurt to have a.
And we'll see an increase of it as you know it's that time of year again.
Well, that is true. So everyone get ready. We're only how many more days till Christmas?
Shush.
Yeah.
A little over a month and a half
days until Christmas.
Yeah,
so when this gets released, it's 50 days till Christmas. There you guys go. There's your reminder. 50 days till Christmas.
No.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Liz?
No, I'm not. Black Friday will be literally a blackout. At least I have Cyber Money Monday.
Like I have Cyber Money.
And a lot of people already started. Their Black Friday. You know, there's got a lot of places that are starting their Black Friday sales. I'm like, sweet.
Yeah, a lot of companies are doing that. That's what's interesting. That's I've been seeing that a lot of like people had like October Black Friday sales, and I'm like, what? I know Amazon does Amazon Day, which is kind of like the Black Friday thing, which was like, okay, sure. But for our household, I think I talked about it last year. Like we don't have like a normal Christmas anymore. We kind of just do a Secret Santa. Well, kind of giving gifts to like our parents and stuff like that. So we can't go. Technically, we can't go shopping until Thanksgiving. When we receive our Secret Santa. Like here, this is who you're getting. So it takes. We only have from Thanksgiving to Christmas. How much time is that? Really, like 30 days. I'm gonna say roughly 30 days. Minimum, I would say, to find a gift for your Secret Santa. Which is fine. Sometimes, but you know, it wouldn't hurt if we did it earlier. But there's really no other time where we all get together besides Thanksgiving and Christmas. So whoever, if you're out there already getting your stuff, remember you have 50 days as the time of the release of this episode. So be ready. You know, just around the corner.
You know, I have a cousin who actually starts like at the beginning of the new year every year. He starts shopping right away. Like he just loves shopping. I'm like, all right, cool.
Some people do.
Where's my gift, buddy?
You gotta wait till Christmas. All right, let's.
I never get one. It's okay.
You don't get Christmas gifts anymore?
No, we don't. We don't do that anymore.
Oh,
we only do it for kids now. We do it for the kids in the household because there's too many of us adults and we don't know what they want. And usually, if you want it, it's already gotten. So we skip on that.
That's why I would recommend the Secret Santa method because it's still fun.
We did that a couple times and it didn't
pan out.
Turned out really well.
It
goes okay. It goes okay. It's not super exciting.
That's disappointing. Okay, this is something under your belt. We talked about it a little bit last week about CVS and Walgreens.
Yeah, where's that one? There it is. A 3-day walkout. Dun, dun, dun. CVS and Walgreens pharmacy staff begin 3-day walkout. All right. Employees at some of the largest drugstore chains in the United States staged a new series of walkouts across the country Monday to demand that companies fix what employees are saying are harsh working conditions that make it difficult for them to safely fill prescriptions, which could put the health of the customers at risk. Walgreens and CVS are mostly not unionized, which most makes a large-scale walkout difficult to execute. Staff and organizers in multiple states confirmed to CNN that the walkouts have begun and will take place through November 1st, but it remains unclear how widespread the action is. Workers at Walgreens and CVS have previously staged walkouts in Arizona, Washington, Massachusetts, and Oregon in September and early October. These work actions closed a handful of pharmacies briefly and slowed businesses at several others. At the time, Walgreens told CNN the impact has been minimal. Shane Jereminsky, an independent pharmacist in Southern California who also used to work for Walgreens, is one of the walkouts organizers told CNN on Monday that organizers are already overwhelmed by calls about closed pharmacies. During prior walkouts, pharmacy staff feared retaliation from bosses and corporate leadership, said Jereminsky, but there was no reprisal from the leadership, which he says has emboldened more staff to participate. Dominus confirmed to CNN that there has been at least 25 store closures.
Okay, so let's start from there. Okay,
let's
so
basically just continue talking about all that, talking about walking out and calling in sick and all that jazz. So
it's what you.
I mean,
you mentioned this last week. You mentioned this last week a little bit.
Yes, I did. Yes, because these conditions were happening way before COVID ever happened. I mean, I remember they would always continuously cut my hours, because I wasn't the senior staff. I was at the bottom of the tier. I was getting the fewest hours ever, and I was getting 24 hours. You remember those days, and I supplemented with working for Lyft at the time because I was like, I can't work. I can't live like this. It's not doable, not viable in my lifestyle. Because then I started to take my kid into, daycare and everything else involved with a child, right? And bills and stuff like that. It has been happening for so long. The demands of the wanting to have it filled and taken care of, it's ridiculous. And the amount of opioids they want us to fill, the amount of, flu shots they need us to have a build at the time before COVID even happened. I mean, you guys have no idea. I never got a bonus. Never in my own entire lifetime at working at the retail establishment. Because we could never amount to get all those quotes of numbers. And if they did, it happened to give them to my boss and not to us.
Come on, Liz. He deserves the bonus, not the underlings. You know how
I guess
how it works.
You're the ones typing it up and he's just delivering it.
Exactly. He's the supervisor. Supervisors make the money. You're supposed to make it for them. Remember that. That's how capitalism works.
I know. And which is, it sucks because, and a lot of people say, and I'm so vouching for them. I am vouching for Kaiser. I am vouching for all of the pharmacies because it's not safe. It has never been safe. I'm looking for more pay raises. I am looking for everything to happen for them because, honestly, this is bullshit. We have basically people's hands in our lives and we're not even paid enough for to say, give you the wrong tablets. Oops. Oh, okay. What do we do? You don't care? Oh, okay. That's cool, guys. You're on the other side of that counter, but it freaks us out every day. Do we have the right medication? Do we have the right person? This shit happens. And it's always been like that. We are been overly stressed and overly worked for years. And now it's mounting up because of COVID. It's just like that extra little added pressure to it. I'm glad they started giving some of the corporate companies started giving them holidays off, like closing physically, which has been amazing. But again, nobody's planning ahead, and we're the repercussions of it. Oh, you didn't plan ahead, and we're in trouble, or we didn't meet the numbers because we were closed. This is bullshit, And
you're back at it again, Liz. The return. I
know, but it's making me root for them so much harder and so much better because I want excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. I want conditions to be better. I've always wanted that. That has always been I saw the writing on the wall once I walked into a pharmacy setting for a week, and I saw that the demands are too high. The customers are assholes and bitches about the medications. Even when I had a customer who literally flew in a flying fit because their spouse hadn't slept for over 24 hours for one tablet of medication that will help that person sleep. And granted, they only can get about 8 hours, maybe, and sometimes it doesn't work. I mean, honestly, people have to understand we are trying our best. We have to make sure there's no interactions with your medications with that thing. We might even get a doctor saying, "Hey, you got to get back to us. We need confirmation." So it's been a long time coming, and I saw the writing on the walls. It was just a matter of time and days that would make it happen. I'm glad that people are stepping up and fighting these corporations, because the corporations are demands. Those CEOs have never worked a day in pharmacy, and I've watched Reddit so many times that people were going to get written up as a final warning in a way to terminate them. And I think that's bullshit. That is actually only backfiring against the people that are standing up for what is right. And honestly, and I've seen another TikToker who said, "I only make $17.80. I can make $20 flipping burgers." Like, that is bullshit. You're making $17.80, and the person who's flipping burgers is making $20.
Well, that also depends.
Raw meat, or I give you the wrong drug. Oh, raw meat is gonna kill you more than that wrong drug. Okay.
That also depends on the state you're working in, because every state has a different. For some reason, every state has a different bracket.
I know, it sucks. It really does suck, though. I mean,
yeah.
Dude, think about that.
It's one of those things.
I don't know. I think about this, and I think it's outrageous. This has been going on for years, and now that people are standing up, and there's going to be reprimanding from that kind of shit. No, this should be fixed. The CEOs have never worked a day in pharmacy. They are not even pharmacists themselves.
Liz, they are the ones that need to be facilitating everything. That's why they make the millions. That's why they make $10 to $100 million a year. They need to make the money so we know we're getting the stuff right. If they weren't making the money, who will? The lowly people on the bottom, they don't need it. Okay? They don't need it. You should be happy you have a job.
No.
That's what they say.
I am happy I have a job.
Exactly. Then
and
you
I have good benefits.
Don't complain.
Need to change.
No, Liz.
We don't have enough technicians. I swear, as soon as Kaiser hikes it up, pay raise, we're gonna lose technicians. Bye.
Then that should show them.
The turnover rate is ridiculous.
Well, we'll see then. We'll see, because there is already. This is a side story I had the other day. It's not like I don't have an article off the top of my head, but I can kind of paraphrase. Apparently, the medical field itself is already having a lackluster amount of future doctors or anyone in those fields. In the education system, it's estimated between 20 to 35%. We're going to have less people coming out of the medical education system. So you're going to see less doctors, less nurses, less technicians, just basically less. And it makes sense in a way. It's like, why go through all of that, getting all those loans and everything just to be in an environment that one is not feasible to pay to mental and physical health, to unless you're in that 1% of those people who make good money, you're just another lowly worker. And we'll see how things go. Sometimes it turns to the positive, depending on how things go, but sometimes those positives aren't as grand as some people think, and that's how it kind of is going to work.
You have to think about the environment too, especially in hospitals and settings. I mean, we've seen nurses that get just knocked back for just helping a patient. The patient has a mental attack of some sort, and they express it on us, and the shit that being violent towards us. I mean, I think I haven't seen a nurse that was violently attacked. I think they're no longer with us because they are unable to do that job because of the mental stress of that and the trauma.
So, We'll see.
It's a sad thing.
We'll see how things go. We'll keep an eye on this in this predicament and see how any of this turns out. But for now, well, we'll see how things go. Because at the end of the day, I agree. Just having more ability to fund people who are able to work in any environment. Actually, I think we all agreed on this thing. People should be able to make a livable wage in whatever environment you're in, as long as you can not survive, but live and survive are two different things. Like if you can live on the income you make, that's what I'm saying. That's actually a good way to kind of transition to the next story. So apparently a content creator known as Charlie D'Amelio is slammed for mocking Walmart cashiers in a popcorn promotion. So let's see here.
Never heard this one.
So Charlie D'Amelio has became one of the biggest influence in the world after she and her sister became TikTok's sensations. Charlie and her family has become fully fledged reality stars in their own right after launching their own reality show, The D'Amelios. I don't even know about that. I know of The D'Amelios, but I didn't know they had their own reality shows. Pursuing various other ventures. Now that it has been announced that Charlie, Dixie, and her parents, Mark and Heidi, Heidi, have launched Be Happy Snack Popcorn, which is exclusively sold at Walmart. However, she appears at a Walmart store promoting the brand new brand and was instantly hit with backlash after she was seen posing as a cashier. Okay, before we start, what are your thoughts on that? Just kind of the initial.
I could see that as just being a shitstorm. As soon as you start, imitating or posing as a cashier for Walmart, like that's how you really want to treat your Walmart relationship with the popcorn you're selling.
But it's exclusively sold at Walmart, so she was promoting like, "Come to Walmart, buy our popcorn." That was the kind of the ad that.
Yeah, but like, but posing as a cashier. That's gonna backfire. I just saw that writing right there. Backfire. Just
how
don't have to say much. If you're already like imitating them and mocking them, you're going to see some backfire.
Okay, let's continue then. Because I wanted to get what you're in your head. What does that mean to you? Let's see here. So Charlie D'Amelio visited a Walmart store to film promotional content after it was announced that her popcorn brand was being stocked nationwide across the stores. In the video that is circulating around socials, TikTok star is seen wearing a classic Walmart uniform with her own name badge, and as she poses for photos, videos for her of her scanning popcorn brands. Oh, there's a video of her. Let's see. Let's press play. Oh, no audio. Okay, it's just her, just scanning. I think that's her and her sister. Let's see here. Since the clip was uploaded, she has faced considerable backlash, with hundreds of comments slamming the D'Amelios for pretending to work as employees at the store. I feel like this makes a mockery of the working class job, but okay, the top comment said, which has gained over 13,000 likes. Damn, that's a lot of likes. Many similar comments flooded in with, "Why do rich people enjoy cosplaying the broke?" And she's making fun of people's job who make low income. Bravo. That's another comment. Another comment here. She's not even working. It's a PR photo shoot, hence the camera flash with the pose. She will never know how working a real 9-to-5 job is like. Pathetic of her, honestly, said another. After the time of writing, D'Amelio or Walmart had made no further comments regarding the situation. Okay, so I understand the idea of making a promotion video. That makes sense. But there should be a time and place to do it, but I don't know how you can. It's a mix for me of where people are just going to get mad for anything in this day and age.
Yeah. But like, I think her dressing up, what is a big no-no? If she was just like, like did a promotional video like, "Hey, guess where my popcorn's at? ting, like regular clothes, not mocking, that would have been a different story. But the fact that she was behind a counter doing a job that really was taken away from the real 9 to 5 person.
That's the thing. That's another thing. The other mentality of a lot of people, surprisingly, a decent amount of people in the content space don't really work jobs anymore to begin with. A lot of the young influencers, they just go into whatever platform they are, let it be TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Kick. There's so many people that just that's been their job since they've been young, so they've never had a quote traditional real job, right? A lot of the older content creators, they've had jobs for things, so they have some mentality of it. Some of them have been slammed for other things here and there, but it's some of the younger people here that are definitely don't have like this norm, and it's changed a lot. It's changed a lot in the last couple of years, definitely. Because remember when you were a kid, like, do you remember what you wanted to be when you were growing up, or some of the things you wanted to be when you grew up? Like, I wanted to be this when I was this age. I wanted to be that instead.
No, I actually don't remember that. I don't remember.
Wow, I'm surprised.
I just never. I was always a dreamer, but never like I wanted to do this for a living kind of thing. Like I never knew what I wanted to be. Never knew. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up.
What? I want to be financial.
I guess retired is now my thing. I'm like, I just want to be retired.
My goal is just to be financially stable. That's my dream now.
Exactly.
In whatever field. At this point, just like, I don't care what job I have. I just want to be financially stable. But yeah, at least,
exactly.
That's a little for something that hits me a little bit in the sadder note. But yeah, for me, I kind of like, there's like, I wanted to be like a firefighter, a doctor, an astronaut. Your classic ones. But now when you ask people, like when you ask kids, like, oh, I want to become a YouTuber, I want to become a streamer. That's kind of I want to be a TikToker. That's the new mentality, because that's kind of what they are watching. That's what they're seeing. Have you ever asked your daughter what career or what she kind of wants to do in the future or anything?
When she was 4 or 5, I can't remember. It was when she was in preschool, daycare. She said a nurse.
Okay.
Now it's a engineer.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm like, good for you. That's a good job. And I think there was something else she wanted to be if that didn't work out. So she's got a couple of variations. So she's just a very smart, intelligent child. I would, honestly, if she became an engineer, I think it would like stoke my dad from the grave, because he was an electrical engineer himself. So that's awesome,
Yeah. So like, it's one of those things where definitely we're living in an age where there are some people that are still trying to go into these traditional fields, but then we've talked about multiple things that hold people back, like the cost of college. Like, what's the point of going to college if you're just going to be in debt for life? Like, we literally just talked about that a little bit ago. And then just the
premises are in debt for life anyway. So
exactly. So what's the point of going into that field if you're not going to be earning enough money to then just be living bare minimum, where you can be, well, even if you're getting a basic job, what I would consider a basic job, you would still be making more, but still live in the same situation, but with less debt, but a different form of debt, because people just get into debt no matter what. It's just like at least in America, there's just like so many things that can get you into debt, be it medical bills, be it wrong spending, or being just some malicious thing, someone taking your credit stuff. It's just that there's no real like safety net besides being rich.
I agree.
Like, if you're rich, you can do anything. And kind of going back to this mockery, the idea of mockery in this promotion, I don't see it as bad, but definitely it could, the filming of it could have been done a lot better. They could have been portrayed differently. Like she just could have been be a customer at the Walmart, not be an employee. And just like here,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she should have been in regular clothes. She shouldn't have dressed up.
Because yeah,
It would have been
definitely.
different.
Because definitely, we've talked about Walmart employees. Like the Walmart. We read statements. Being in that job is miserable for a lot of people. They are just going there to get a paycheck and they hate their lives. And that's not even a joke. There's a lot of people that just hate, and then just makes it harder to like when your job is that miserable that you have to go back to work because that's the only place that one gives you the money to quote survive. It's like that's disappointing because yeah, people have to go to these jobs and just feels like an insult to individuals. That's the only way I can really see it. So do you have any other statements as far as when if like someone decided to do a
I think she should have thought this a little bit through. She's a little older. She should have thought it through.
but they needed the content, Liz. It's the content. It's all about content.
Yeah. And you're causing trouble for yourselves. You might be losing that contract with Walmart.
I don't think
You
so.
should have thought about that.
They'll still make money. They'll
Who
still make
knows?
money. They're popular. That's the other thing. It's like they're popular, so they don't care.
I don't even know about them, so they're not popular to me.
Actually, how many TikTokers did come on? Why isn't none of their links are good? That's what sucks. Fix there though. Fix it. Let's see here. Charlie D'Amelio. Let's see here. Her Instagram. She has 46 million followers on Instagram. Yeah,
Mary and Joseph.
They are not hurting. Yeah, they are not hurting. So they're fine. Yeah,
No, they're not.
One little backlash is not going to do nothing. And she has 151 million on TikTok. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Wow.
This is nothing. They're fine. They can mock all the poor people they want. That's how it is, Liz. You have the following. You're fine. You're fine. So yeah, mock the poor people. Fine. You have the following to stop it.
Mary and Joseph.
What this is just the world we live in, Liz. You have the following.
I know. It's just shitty. It's just a shitty thing.
Why is it shitty? If you want to change it, you have to get more popular.
I will not ever be popular. I'm not that in that mode.
Okay, let's continue on. See, let's see anything else interesting here. What are some wild something weird, wacky?
Is Florida Man involved in there?
Let's do Florida Man. Florida Mans are always crazy.
Are you sure you want to hear about this one? Florida man arrested for child abuse for trying to circumcise 2-year-old child.
Himself?
He was going to circumcise the 2-year-old child.
Okay.
Is your pipito hurting? A Holly Hill man was jailed for child abuse after police said it appeared that he tried to circumcise a 2-year-old boy he was babysitting.
Oh, it's not even his child. It wasn't even his child. Holy shit, that's cool.
I know, right? Timothy Powell, 29, arrested on Monday for remained in Volusia County Branch Jail on Wednesday on $100,000 bail charge with aggravated child abuse, a first-degree felony. Holly Hill police said they became aware of the incident October 21st when a Department of Children and Family investigator asked for assistance with the case. According to Powell's arrest report, the DCF investigator was reported by the staff of Halifax Health Medical Center that the boy was brought in for treatment of a bleeding cut to his penis on October 17th. Powell said he was caring for the child while the child's mother was at work and was seen on surveillance video changing the child's diaper. He initially told police that he found a piece of glass in the diaper and believed it cut the child. His arrest report states, when confronted that the child had been cut, Powell said he was frustrated, lost his temper, and said he pulled down on the child with force, hurting him, according to the report. But the DCF nurse said, and doctor said, the cut was much too clean and precise to be accidental. The nurse did note that the injury had been inflicted by someone, as if they may have tried to circumcise. Police wrote in the report.
Damn. Okay, we can.
The doctor also agreed the wound was.
Yeah, we get the story. Holy shit.
That's the end of it. Yep.
Man, some people are wild, man. No matter.
Why would you go and circumcise a child? Jesus, would you circumcise
a child?
Your child, or like a random child, just a random child off the street? It sounds like at this point.
Anything to deal with children, no. You know, children are our future. There's no, okay, children are our future. Okay.
Apparently not.
No. God, it's wild when others take extreme measures with other people's kids. You know,
I know, right?
There's like lecturing, but even that can be dependent, because then it can get depending on whatever preachy, like that's the term people use nowadays. Because you don't want some kids to learn things from other people, because no, you shouldn't be teaching my kid that. But definitely when it comes to something this physical, it's definitely like this is getting to pedophilic levels, you know.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one too.
Like it just, oh my god!
I want to see this person's tracker. There's 29. There's already something. He's got to be hiding something underneath that that face. More than that incident, there's got to be another incident that led up to this point.
Yeah. Oh my god! It's just wild to see that, hear that, because you would think like, oh yeah, I'm letting this individual take care of my child for an afternoon while I'm away or on working, because that's what people do nowadays. Because you kind of have to work. You have to pay someone or help someone, just has the kind of their heart. But then to find that this individual has harmed your child, and then to that extent, that is wild. And as far as
it's very wild.
And as far as circumcision, that's each their own. Again, there's religious reasons, and there's medical reasons. So yeah, to each their own. I really have no methodology for that. So. But it's just one of those things where like some people just are wild when trying to push things onto others, and this was forced too by a, quote, to me, a stranger. It's really disappointing, and it's just traumatizing to the child.
Oh yeah.
What are some of the thoughts? What some of the thoughts that are rolling through your head?
I just can't believe someone would have that audacity to decide, I'm going to circumcise this person, this little kid, no relation to me. Just get, what in God's name is going through that person's brain? That's what I gotta ask, because I don't care if your kid is not circumcised or circumcised. I don't care. That's your own preference and your own beliefs, whatever. I don't care. And it just blows my mind. Just blows my mind. Why would somebody decide, oh, I'm just going to circumcise this person? Why?
People are wild this day and age.
Who gave you the authority? Who gave you the authority to decide, I'm going to circumcise this kid?
The Lord Jesus Christ, Liz. The Lord Jesus Christ, okay?
He wasn't even circumcised himself.
What are you saying? I'm going to put you to court on that. The court of Jesus Christ, okay? But yeah, it's very disappointing that a child has to be involved in situations like this. That's the more thing. That's
a trauma. It's gonna wreak for life on this person. Sorry, I keep saying patient. I don't know why.
I think you're trying to say person. And
I know, and I keep saying patient. Apparently,
you're in that.
I'm already back in work mode. Patient.
Just 3 more weeks, Liz. Just 3 more weeks, and you can be on another 2-week vacation. Okay, just.
I know. Not soon enough, y'all.
Okay, let's jump into the final story we have here. This is an interesting one I found last minute. The record 119,300 New York City students were homeless last year. So tens of thousands of migrant children have enrolled in public schools, but many of them do not have a consistent place to live. The number of homeless public school students. Okay, it's fine. A number of public. Let me finish this here. A number of homeless public school students in New York City reached an all-time high of 119,320 last year, according to the new data released Wednesday as migrant crossings from the southern border continue to flock to the city. Since last summer alone, more than 30,000 new students in the temporary housings have enrolled in city schools, including some of 12,000 in the last 5 months, who are not reflected in the data. The statistics, which include children in shelters, hotels, relative homes, and other transit place, illuminate the challenge for Mayor Eric Adams' administration is handling the rise of homeless students. They are uniquely vulnerable, dropping out of the steep rates and often missing school. The New York City of homeless students population is now larger than the entire traditional public school system of Philadelphia. Holy shit, that's crazy, actually.
That's crazy. That's huge.
As the system overall enrollment shrinks, the rise in homelessness amongst children means the issue has touched more schools. Now, about 1 in 9 New York students are homeless. Ooh, 1 in 9. Let me say that again. 1 in 9 New York City students are homeless. Some areas of the city have been especially hard hit. However, in one section of the Bronx, more than 20% of students were homeless. 20%, so 1 in 5. The numbers are swelling as the city grapples the housing shortage. The schools are facing intense financial pressures. The consistent have left some of the critical services for homeless students in the system, and the nation's largest increasingly under threat. So I'll stop right there for now. So just hearing that nearly 6 figures of students are homeless students, and from the sounds of it, it sounds like anyone from 12 and down, right? That's a lot. What are your thoughts when I was
hella a lot? Like I mean, I know it's still happening here in the Northwest. I mean, we still have, but that is astronomically huge. Think about 30 kids in a class, and like 3 of them are at least homeless.
Yeah, and for anyone, if anyone's
in your own classroom, like alone, I mean, and you might have more than one class of the same grade, you know. So 4 first graders, and you think about it, 3 in each class. That's a huge.
And for anyone,
more, I mean,
yeah, and for anyone wondering and listening, when we mean homeless, like it's stated here, and I think we stated it multiple times, homeless means not like you're living in the streets. Homeless means you don't have a stable housing. You're either living in like shelters, relatives,
hotels, relatives, cars. I know sometimes cars too.
It's just if you're not living in a permanent location, that's what homeless means. So it's like your average couch surfer is technically homeless. It's that's what it means. So it's not like it may the article makes it sound like there's like 120,000 kids living in the streets. In a sense, you can kind of think of it that way, but it's not that. But it is kind of still bad, no matter what. It's
not consistent living. I mean, like, you don't. If it's like today you go hanging out with your aunt, tomorrow you're gonna go couch surf at your friend's house because that's how it is. It's not consistent living. You go from couch to couch to couch to couch to car to bed you can get. I mean, that's not consistent enough, guys. If you think about it, if it's like every day you were traveling to another city, another hotel, another. I mean, it's the same thing for you guys. You have no consistently. Your foot's not in one spot. It's always going to a different spot every night, every week, depending on the situation. But I mean, Oh my gosh. I just can't even imagine that. That would be such hair raising, so much stress, especially on a little kid too.
That's the other thing. Yeah, you would be more, you would have more conceptual idea as being a parent. Like if you were put in such a situation where you would have to be moving at a constant rate, like you would have quote a job, but you wouldn't like, oh, I don't have enough, I don't earn enough to, so you have to be bouncing around. Like you could probably imagine a little bit more than I would. I can understand it, but you would conceptualize it better than I would. But definitely, like you
Yeah, I
said,
just think about the stress it would cause. I can imagine it just straight off the bat. Like that stresses the shit out of me already thinking about it. Today, my mom said you gotta move out. I'm like, okay, where in hell am I gonna go? I don't make them for anything. So
and then the other thing you mentioned towards the end there is like affecting kids, and that's definitely what this article is also touching on. It's like it's not a stable for like the education of the child. Like they can be going to school, but if they don't have a place to go back properly to continue, like to review, to do their work and stuff like that, I can see why there's a huge dropout rate and stuff like that. And it's very saddening to hear that's how bad. And this is just one city. This is just the city of New York. This is just New York
yeah,
City.
this is not the rest of the country. I know there's more, and I know there's more, but New York is huge right now, and I think because it's such a dominant city, and there's again, they said not enough homes or places for people to live. I mean, we're seeing that right now. I mean, in the Northwest alone. So, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I mean, it's a scary thing, and I could see it. There's not enough internet connection, so you're always trying to find like a library or a Starbucks to find internet to get any homework done too. I mean, how, or you have set time limits on the lighting. You can only have lights out at, when you're in a shelter at 8 o'clock at night. Like,
So I was kind of
that's the end
scrolling
of you.
through. Yeah, so I was going through. Apparently, a little bit ago, Mayor Eric Adams announced there's a 60-day limit on how long families could stay at any one shelter as another way to encourage people to leave the homeless shelter system or the city altogether. Homeless children have been a federal right to stay in the same school if they move, but advocates worry that the change would lead to no longer commutes and missed class time. Some people were unaware of the new time limit that they were saying, so yeah, then you don't have time to go look for a new place. And then some places there's programs for people to have free daycare program or free preschool programs, but most places require let's see here,
An address and
a stable address to
actual
enroll.
living at. Mm-hmm.
So that there's a lot of things to help people in place, but then those things have stipulations where you have to like, oh yeah, you have to do this, this, or this, and or have that, this, that, or the other. And I can see why having those things in place are useful because there are, disappointingly there's a lot of people that abuse the system. We've talked about stories like that, the people that abuse the system to benefit themselves in which they don't need it. When then there are other individuals that like they need it but they can't do it because other people are making it more harder, and the protocols they put in place to kind of help stop other people from use it just make it harder for people who do need it to use it, even though they have the ability to do it, or they just make it harder. And that's disappointing. And I think the only ones losing at that point are definitely the children in the high end, but the parents who are trying to do their best for their kids are just making it harder for them to even be around if they have to do so much in this day and age. And like we say, I think at this point it is a meme. Like the housing system is really bad.
It is. I mean, I'm just talking about, you've seen those memes about those little toy houses, and it's like $350,000. It's absolutely fucking true at this point.
Yeah, that was funny because years ago I wouldn't have mind building a tiny house because I have enough land to build 4 tiny houses. If I destroyed my office, which would be sad, because I took so long to build this thing. But if I destroyed my office and destroyed my storage shed, I could probably build comfortably 4 tiny houses in my on my piece of property. And if I destroyed my house, I could build 8 tiny houses. I can build my own little community with 8 tiny houses.
You could. And we were talking about that. It's like this. We had this address that we were looking at in Newburgh that was like already 3 homes on this place. We could definitely have turned down like the 2 houses and make it into like little homes. We were talking about it. I'm like, how do you do that? It's already built for it, so we could make this happen.
The thing is, like,
rent it out.
Yeah. The other thing is now is back then the cost of buying the prefabs and all that weren't as expensive as they now. They like tripled in price because it used to be like between like 30 to the higher end $100,000, but now it's like, oh, you're paying $100,000 to $300,000 for a tiny house. And like there are people who are gonna say like, well, you can scale it, you can depend like what do you want in it. Yeah, but that's still the cost. And I know like the price of costs, materials have increased, and that doesn't help to it. But it doesn't
exactly at all.
And it's the idea like I'm like I could survive. I could actually live comfortably in a tiny house myself. Survive like we've stated earlier. It's more like trying to live day by day. But I could actually live in a tiny house. With my lifestyle. While I'm finishing my day, would you think about if you would in your current life? Would you be able to live in a tiny house? But to finish my statement, like I would be able to live comfortably like that. I would need 2 tiny houses because my office basically. So I would just need like my home and my office to kind of facilitate what I need in my day-to-day life. Yeah, but I don't know if
I could live in a tiny home. I could not live in a tiny home. I'm so used to. I'm okay with the what is our under like roughly under 1,200 square feet, and I like it. It's comfortable, it's spacious enough. We can stop people over. I like that idea because I've always been in the idea that I can, if I can have a party, I'm going to have a party, and I want to have it to be able to have people to share the space with. So that's my thing. I could never live comfortably in a small tiny house.
Yeah. Anything I'm trying to think. I think anything kind of closing off the thoughts of the situation in New York. We can't do anything about it, but it's just what are your thoughts kind of closing out that as a parent?
Sad. I wish there was more stability for these children, and these parents obviously would like to have a place that's solid for them too, because it's just as stressful for them as it is for the kids too. It's a double whammy. I mean, I wish there was more resources. I wish there was more money for this. I hope they were making enough more money to get that. But then again, you have a housing situation where it's just there's not enough low income housing in general. So like, what are we doing in the situation? Like, there's got to be a way to resolve this. I mean, I hope they figure that out because it's the rest of the country is feeling it too, because they're in the same boat.
Yeah, exactly. And we're gonna leave it at that disappointing note, sadly, guys. But that's kind of how the state of the world is, and it kind of, even though with sadly the holidays are around the corner, and there's children like that. Mostly in New York. Fuck, I think it's snowing in New York actually.
It's snowing pretty much everywhere. I know. I already have a picture of my dog nephew with frozen drool out of his mouth. His drool was frozen. It was snow drool, they called it. And it was literally coming out, and it looked like it was a frozen drool.
Ew. Yeah, I got some photos from family out in Chicago that it was snowing on Halloween night. And I'm like... But yeah, it's cold. It's cold. It's getting chilly out there for people up here in the northern hemisphere. For everyone in the south, I hope you guys are enjoying your summer, or it's spring. Is it spring at the moment for them? No, it's summer. No, it's fall for us, spring for them. Yeah, I'm hoping you guys are enjoying your spring. Hopefully you guys don't have a scorching summer like we did, but more than likely you will, because that's how the climate is right now. It's the end of the world.
Yeah, I know, right? Stay warm, stay cool.
Maybe if you're in the even if you're in the middle of the hemisphere, you're still there's something always happening too. So
I know, hurricane season. Woo!
yeah, everyone, thank you again for listening. Liz, thank you for joining us today. Everyone, don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, or if you're listening to any of the podcast platform. Don't forget to buy our merch if you want to help support us. But yeah, so thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.
Bye.